pressure, expectation, and finding out what you're made of. All of those things come into play when you have a top 5 showdown at this point in the season. Welcome to Sooner Nation in Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, as we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, taking on the 5th-ranked team in the land, the Oklahoma Sooners. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. And the Sooners will get us started with the opening kickoff. He'll start the return inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So the Oregon Ducks offense will go to work first. And David, this offense is built around keeping it on the ground and feeding the beast at running back.
Yeah, and he is a grown ace man. That dude, it starts and ends with him. Jesse, how nice is it to have a running back that you can turn and hand the ball to? He's going to get positive chunks. Defenses fear him. That's a really nice place to start on offense.
And it doesn't matter how many guys they have in the box, right? Every single week, defense is key on stopping this guy, and none of them can do it. He is so dynamic, a true game changer for this offense.
He'll run it again. That'll be enough for a fresh set of downs. He gets it to the 32.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Grabbed over the middle. It's Bryant. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. It's not just the dual threat guy. You go back to Dan Fouts or Bill Musgrave or even Justin Herbert, and passers not in short supply for the Ducks.
And when you think about the Ducks, you always think about the fancy uniforms. I think that's one of the first things that come to mind, but the guys you just named, it's been built on flash, but it's also been built on substance. Great players in their tradition, in their history, and just like now, just in the recent history, Bo Nix, another one of those guys that's put up big numbers.
The Ducks can really attack on this second and short. Moore will throw. Fires to the middle. Found the spot in the defense. Gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line to the 19 before being hauled down. And how about taking a big chunk out of this defense on the opening drive?
And with the speed they have on the perimeter, Reese, no doubt, they want to come out here and test this secondary, test these DBs, and they know they've got the QB with the arm talent to get the ball there. That's a great start for this offense.
He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Bryant. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
Ooh, and that was close for the offense. They try to go wide receiver screen. They're counting on that receiver beating that defender. Wasn't able to make him miss that time, but if I'm on offense, I'm going back to that play later.
Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. Muscling ahead on third and short. And he gets it inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 9 where it'll be first and goal.
And it's been a rough start for this defense. They've given up too many yards, a third down right there, but a good chance to bow your neck now, to make a statement. First and goal, we got to be physical, got to stop the run game, get a chance to make a stop on this first possession, and force a field goal.
He'll do it himself. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Ducks!
And how How about the wheels for the QB? You could tell, man, he can roll, and they're going to use him. This is just the first drive. You see him going for the touchdown. I imagine we'll see more of that guy running the football with that kind of speed.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. They put together an 81-yard drive, and what a way to finish it with a 9-yard touchdown run. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. What kind of field position can he help them with on the return? He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Oklahoma's offense will try to get something started with their first possession. And we've got a superb matchup to watch here, David. One of the best quarterbacks in the country, and how much will he be willing to challenge one of the best corners in the land?
Well, and it's going to be more interesting to me, Jesse, do they let him make a play? Like, does he choose to go after him and believe in his ability and believe in his matchups, or do they stay away from him? Because a lot of people stay away from him. He's that good out wide that you don't want that smoke. And I'm interested to see, Jesse, if he has the onions to go after the corner and try to make plays on him.
Well, one thing we know about him for sure is he's a believer in his own arm talent. He's the kind of guy that thinks he can fit the football into the smallest windows, but you're right. He's got to pick his battles and be careful when he decides to attack this guy, because he has picked off some really good quarterbacks in the past, and you know he's just licking his chops, hoping for a chance today.
Guys, Oklahoma's transition to the SEC in 2024 taught them a lesson that you might be able to get by at times without offensive consistency, but you won't thrive. So what kind of pressure, David, is the new guy under center under?
A lot of pressure, but obviously the experience, the transfer over. He was the top guy at that spot in the transfer portal. You bring in a new offensive coordinator, new weapons around him, so a revamped new Oklahoma offense. They're hoping they will match their defense, and those wins will go up and up and up.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. The give to the running back from the shotgun. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Now facing a 3rd and long. To the air, it's Mateer. Pocket breaking down. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49.
Man, this home crowd was so jacked up, so excited to finally get the football after giving up points on the first drive and having to be quiet. Now they're quiet again. How about the defense coming in here, shutting this crowd up early and doing their job?
The Sooners will line up to punt it away. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. Time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. From the gun, they'll try the middle. A very short pickup there, and that'll be the final play of the first quarter. That's the end of the period, and Oregon has the lead. We put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. Went to the running game on first down. Now here they come again. The short hands, it's Moore. There he goes. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down. Oregon was dominant last season until the Ducks ran into that Ohio State juggernaut in the Rose Bowl, and that left Oregon still in search of its long-awaited first national title.
Well, Dan Lanning has built this thing into a national championship contender. He's done it in the trenches. I'm curious to see what they do at quarterback and how that position plays out. Dylan Gabriel exhausted his 17th year of eligibility finally last year, David, so that's where my eyes are at.
He did, no doubt about it. He was around for a long time, but I think it's more the excitement with Lanning and continuing to bring in high recruiting classes, but breaking through and getting that first national title. They're on the precipice. Is this the year?
The Ducks have it with a 1st and 10. Moore to the air. Trying to set up the screen. No, sirree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen pass to the running back, just nowhere to go after he caught the football. The defense completely swarmed around him, and that's a loss.
And the Ducks have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Wants to throw again. He's got an open man. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
This defense has got to be better in coverage. You want to get off the field, you got to keep defending. You got to do something to make the offense feel uncomfortable. So far, way too easy for this offense.
They're in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 20. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Couldn't connect on 1st down, now back to the air. Caught in the backfield, it's Hughes. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
Big 3rd down in the red zone, and this crowd is getting behind this defense. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. And he is not going to get there as the defense gets him on the ground.
This is why 3rd down is so difficult for quarterbacks, because the defense substitutes, they put faster guys on the field, and they've got all their different exotic looks they've been game planning all week for, some things you haven't seen on film yet, and it confuses your offensive line, it confuses you, and you're out here just trying to make plays, trying to do something right to get a 1st down. Wasn't able to gain a lot there.
Trying to keep the drive alive. Gets it inside the 5, and now it'll be 1st and goal from the 4.
Yeah, and there's so much aggressiveness in college football, and I'm here for it. I want all of it. Nice job, 4th and short. I'm buying my club, and now 1st and goal inside the 5. I'm trying to get that touchdown. Forget those field goals.
The Ducks are threatening on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run.
That's a great individual play, and I love cornerbacks that don't just take pride in covering guys. I like guys that like to put their face in the fan and affect the running game. This dude is physical, and he impacts the defense because of it.
And those guys are really hard to find. A lot of corners, they're smaller. They don't want any part of the physical run game. Nice.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Oregon! That touchdown gives this team a pretty significant lead at this point.
And that's what you want. You want to start fast. You want everything to come out and start clicking, make some plays. It doesn't always work that way, but when you do, man, the energy, the crowd, everybody's into it. Now the other team better respond.
Getting set for the point after. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. They put together a 65-yard drive for the score and close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. The give from the gun. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Looking for a man. It's Mateer. Finds his man down the middle. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. The Sooners will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Here's the pressure. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
This defense needed something to happen to create some momentum back to their side. They built a deficit. QB's been very comfortable making plays. Exactly what you needed. Put some doubt in his head. Get to him. Hit him. Get physical. They get the sack on this play, and that's just what they needed.
The Ducks with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. To the air on 2nd down. The short hands, it's Bryant. Several defenders there to get him on the ground.
Nice job by the quarterback and receiver working the curl route. Receiver got his depth and he fought back to the football, helping make that completion a whole lot easier.
The Sooner fans booming. A cacophony of noise at the Palace on the Perry on 3rd down. Rushes on him. Throws to the wideout. Got a man in the middle. He gets it down to the 30-yard line, and time is running short here in the 1st half.
Nice job by the receiver on the in route there. And how about the speed after he made his break? He was able to actually separate a little bit from the DB, helping out his QB on that one.
And the Ducks will snap it on 1st and 10. Here's the handoff. Hard running there. Not a lot going on there. Picked up a couple.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Snagged in the middle. It's Hughes. And they knock him down, but he got past the line to gain.
Tackle on play at the 17-yard line. And that's a 1st down for the offense.
We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Looks as if they'll send out the field goal unit. He'll line it up from 34 yards out. Dead center perfect. And they'll push that lead out a little further.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
On the move from inside his 5. They'll knock him down, and that will take us to halftime. 1st half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, you've been calling a lively one from Norman so far. And it's been a dynamite first half, leading to a one-sided score right now. It's not over, but I think both sides know this is on the verge of a blowout. That opposing defense is inside its locker room right now wondering two things. What just happened, and what do we do now to try to make this respectable? And with that, let's head back to Oklahoma and Memorial Stadium.
The Ducks will kick it away to start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. They'll go with a direct snap. Breaks into the open. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
Well, you wonder if one of the adjustments they made at halftime, trailing in this game, was to try and get the ground game established, David, and they're off to a good start here.
Dang right. Stay patient. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to press. Just try to get scoring drives together. Don't abandon the run.
They're going to go right back to him on first down.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
To the air, it's Mateer. Firing to the right, complete. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
And the Sooners come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. Grab near the sticks. It's Gibson. Huge play there into plus territory, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 46.
QB, excellent location on that throw. Out route against man coverage, you cannot miss. If you throw that behind, that might be a pick 6. So nice job by the quarterback with his accuracy.
In search of their first touchdown of the game, they are on the move with a 1st and 10. Fires left. Found a seam. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
The offense really struggled in the first half of this game, so it was important coming out of halftime. They were able to generate some momentum and get some rhythm offensively, and right now they look like they have it on this drive. Great news to see the quarterback make that last throw there to pick up the first down. They need him to play great in the second half.
Catch in the middle, it's Gibson. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Got it in the middle, it's Gibson. Now the connection takes it to the 11. The Sooners had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. Got it in the middle, it's Huggins. Touchdown Sooners! All that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score. Got to start cutting into this lead somewhere. Now the question, will they have enough time?
But that's step one. You got to get that first score. You got to get back in the ball game and get some of that momentum back on your side. You still got more work to do, but step one accomplished.
He'll try to tack on one more. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. So a drive there of 85 yards, and they finish it with an 11-yard touchdown dart. They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Returner will field it and try to get some field position. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Their lead is down to 10. It's moments like this you start to feel a little bit of heat to put points on the board. Can't come in half-stepping to tackle this guy. Too much strength and power. He's up to the 25. They've done a really good job creating the matchups they want out of the slot.
Yeah, dude, get that guy matched up on a linebacker. That guy matched up on a safety. Keep him away from the corners by putting him in the slot. Get him the football. Let him make plays.
They'll run it from the gun. Forges ahead. Picks up about 3 to the 29.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Sooner Nation bearing down on this offense on this huge third down play. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
You don't even see quarterbacks under center very often, but when you do, and it's short yardage, you kind of know what's coming, but it didn't matter. Quarterback does a great job. Find some space, keep those feet moving, just fall forward and get that yardage, and he gets the big first down.
Moore will throw. Working the middle, it's complete. They'll mark him down at the 40 after ripping off 10.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead. They know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the wideout. Working on the right. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
That's a really nice looking throw. And when I think about the Ducks offense, I think about explosive plays, right? In the running game, but also in the passing game. I feel like if this team is going to win the conference, they need this guy here to be able to make throws like that on a consistent basis. But I'll tell you, he really gives him a chance. He makes this offense go.
One running back in the backfield, and he has it. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Back to pass. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you could tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
The Ducks will punt it away on 4th down. You ought to be able to use this first punt to pin them deep. Wanted to make sure not to give them a chance for a return as it goes out of bounds. Opening play of this drive comes from the 12-yard line. A quick pass to the left. And they'll drag him down. That's likely the last play of the 3rd quarter. Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. They're sitting in a strong position here with the lead. Let's take a look at our game summary. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. Wants to throw. It's Mateer. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical and pass deep.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Shoots it to the left. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
That's one thing this defense takes a lot of pride on. They like tackling the catch, and they like being around the ball. That time, he was in proximity to knock that thing loose. Nice physical play.
Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. 4th down attempt coming. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game. Looking for space. It's Hughes. And he's stopping behind the line of scrimmage, tried to break out the spin move, and still couldn't get loose.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Trying play action. Working that left side now. Now the connection takes it to the 11. They were able to get the ball to the running back in space, but that space just evaporated.
And a great job by the defense, man. It's tough to get those guys on the ground. They're so used to having the football as running backs and making plays and being dynamic. So usually one guy not going to get into the ground. We want many guys swarming to the football, trying to get that elusive guy on the ground.
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
All right, well, that QB knows he now has to get the ball out of his hands quick because that defensive end turned the corner fast.
And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. And he kept that one just straight enough to graze inside the left upright. And that lead grows even bigger.
I really like the decision by this offense because now they got to score 2 touchdowns. Time is not on their side. I can stay very, very conservative. Use that clock. I like the decision by this offense.
Set to advance on the football.
On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So Oklahoma has it again, and here comes the offense. This certainly hasn't been their best day, but there's no time for mistakes now. They have to execute if they want to snatch this thing from the fire.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the 4th quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to have to make a play.
Ball is at the 35. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. It's Mateer. Quick completion on the out. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain.
I think if you're the head coach at this point, you're telling your offense, it doesn't matter what's happened up to this point of the game. Obviously, things haven't gone our way, but we have a chance to execute in a 2-minute situation and give ourselves a chance to win. Let's go do it one play at a time.
Motion from the wideout. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Caught over the middle. It's Gibson. Turning it on. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a 1st down.
I'll tell you, you cannot count this team out because of who's playing quarterback. When this guy's in the game, it's never over. Yeah, they're trailing here in the 4th quarter, but this dude can put up points quickly.
The Sooners with the 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down. With the catch, it's Gibson. Stop is made at the 36, but he picked up 10 on that one and has a fresh set of downs.
Well, down 2 possessions. Good news is you get the completion. Bad news, though, did not get out of bounds. You know right now, saving the clock, that is at a premium for this offense.
Moving into scoring territory at the 36 on first down. Wants to throw it. Grabbed in the middle. It's Huggins. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
Looking to throw on first down. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch. How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the first down?
Man, I love the catch radius on this guy. If you just put it somewhere near his body, he's going to be able to reel it in. That was a phenomenal job, showing you his athleticism and also his concentration, making that outstanding grab.
Wideout trying to get it in. And he'll go out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they've got it right on the doorstep.
Man, you practice this all week for a reason. The 2-minute situation is so important. I like the completion. I like the first down. Let's see if we can get one more play in real quick before the 2-minute timeout.
They've moved it forward to the 2. Now it's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw, it's Mateer. Got it behind the line. It's up. And they're going to lose yardage there. The defense completely owning the front. And they'll try to bite a chunk out of this lead on 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Bring in the heat. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Oklahoma!
Yeah, and that's step 1. Great job by this offense getting in the end zone. Now you got to go get the stop. You got to get the football back. Got to find a way to do something to create a turnover, get an onside, to get the football back, to get back in this football game.
On to attempt the try.
The kicker is on for the extra point.
And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. They marched 78 yards down the field, and they punctuated it with a 5-yard touchdown run. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Grab behind the line. It's Moore. Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. They'll run play action. Grab behind the line, it's Johnson. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. That throw and catch a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, Dave?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open because you got so many guys that...
What a job to lay out and make the catch. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground to keep this clock moving. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Motion from the back. Moore to the air. Out of the backfield, he's open. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to be enough to put them in victory formation for the rest of this one.
I like the running back there on the route and the patience he showed, really setting it up. He got to the defender, he was able to put his foot in the ground, get some separation, catch it, and turn upfield for the first.
And the Ducks will snap it on 1st and 10. And the quarterback takes a knee in victory formation, and he'll get to do it one more time as the clock winds inside a minute. How much fun was that? I mean, you just dream of having games like that every time you go into the booth. I'll watch those two teams play anytime.
Yeah, that's what's fun about good teams. Really good teams squaring off. Like, there wasn't a lot of difference between these two squads. We could watch these every week. Love calling these games because they're competitive. Great talent on the field. Palmer, unfortunately, somebody had to lose.
Yeah, and the higher-ranked team was ranked higher for a reason. At the end of the day, when it came down to it, they made the biggest plays in the most critical moments. Both of these teams have tremendous playmakers, and they're both going to make a lot of noise late in the college football season, but give the higher-ranked team tons of credit. They earned this one.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.